There's a scene that Bryan Cogman wrote in which Jaime decides to knight Brienne that we always just loved. We loved enough that we made it the title of the episode.
After a decade of Game of Thrones, 8 seasons, 11 written episodes, and 3 Grammys, Bryan Cogman is making the journey from Westeros to Middle-earth. Amazon recently announced the former writer and executive producer of Game of Thrones will be working as a consultant on Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings series. Bryan Cogman's rise through the ranks is quite unique. He started off as an assistant to Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss, but they quickly found out that he had a comprehensive knowledge of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire source material. Cogman ended up writing the series Bible outlining character and background information for the rest of the cast and crew to consult, and became known as the Keeper of the Mythos. He went on to write some of the best episodes over the show's run, always emphasizing unflashy, dialogue-heavy chapters, including some of my personal favorites, like Season 1's Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things, Season 3's Kissed by Fire, and Season 8's A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. During his time on the show, Cogman became a favorite of Game of Thrones fans, cast, and even George R.R. Martin himself. He endeared himself to fans with his extensive knowledge of the books, commitment to honoring the source material, and his fanatical passion for the show and characters. Cogman described the final episode he wrote, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, as a love letter to the characters he loved so dearly.
What I really wanted that episode to be was a love letter to the characters, because I love them so much.
His deep understanding of each character and their story arcs helped the cast embrace their roles. Nikolai Coster-Waldau, aka Jaime Lannister, said he couldn't have imagined what it would have been like to be on the show without Bryan. He has been a champion of my character Brienne, and actually me as an actor, said star Gwendolyn Christie, the actress who played Brienne of Tarth. The highest praise ultimately came from George R.R. Martin himself. He's helped keep the show true to the books, and the characters true to the characters that I created, which may not be important to everybody in the world, but is certainly important to me. Martin went as far as to personally ask Bryan Cogman to pitch a Game of Thrones prequel series to HBO. Unfortunately, the timing couldn't have been worse. Cogman had to pitch his prequel to HBO while the final season of Game of Thrones was in production. When the network passed, he moved on and was snatched up by Amazon Studios to work on the upcoming Lord of the Rings series. We still don't know much about that upcoming Lord of the Rings show. Early reports say it will be set during the second age of Middle-earth when the Rings of Power were forged. What we do know is Bryan Cogman brings a heavy emphasis on meaningful interactions and dialogue, character ambitions and motivations, and most importantly, depth. He loves to flesh out character arcs and show why characters do what they do and how they see the world. If his work on Game of Thrones is any indication, he'll also aim to stay as true as possible to the source material. I was bummed when HBO didn't pick up his prequel. I thought he was the best candidate to carry on the Game of Thrones banner. Nevertheless, I think he's a nice acquisition for Amazon, and I'm eager to see what he brings to the table for the new Lord of the Rings series. But what do other people think about Bryan Cogman's ascension from assistant to executive producer and writer, and his move from Game of Thrones to Lord of the Rings? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.